Hello everyone, Aric Hall with the Blaze of Glory. Before I begin, let me preface this presentation by saying that I'm not poking fun nor making light of mental health issues, as I know that there are some real mental health problems in this country. And I am not a licensed psychologist nor a licensed professional counselor, nor do I purport to offer professional advice or treatment for dejected Forrest Fenn treasure hunters. Instead, I want everyone to get a good laugh as I discuss the psychological perspective that relates to the questions that most of us have been confronted with in searching for the Forrest Fenn treasure. So don't be touchy, don't be easily offended, and don't take me so seriously that you feel compelled to send me nasty messages because I will just ban you from the channel. So, with that disclaimer out of the way, sit back, laugh, and reflect on the clinical insanity of the gold bug that has gripped us all. Okay, class, hands up. How many of you have had to explain to spouses, family members, co-workers, or others that you just have to leave everyone and everything behind to drive up into the mountains to look for a hidden treasure chest? Come on now. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so it's all of you. It's not just me then. Thank goodness. In 2017, I only told my parents what I was up to, and I swore them to secrecy. And I told everyone else that I was just going on vacation. I told everybody that I would be gone for 2 weeks, and I came back 5 weeks and 1 day later. In 2018, I figured, so what? I've been telling everyone the last few weeks, from relatives to bartenders, that I'm leaving for 2 months to search for a hidden treasure chest in the Rocky Mountains. One guy gave me a silent, blank stare with an uncertain grin on his face. His face told me that he had lost all confidence in my judgment. At least 2 or 3 others have burst forth with fits of psychotic laughter, but they think something's wrong with me. Now really, how do you convince someone that it is rational and reasonable to leave your home, your family, your pets, your work, and to leave the rest of your life behind to spend 2 months in the mountains, perhaps spending thousands of dollars, searching for somebody's lost bronze box? The parallel would be like a teenage girl who has just graduated from high school. She has a full-ride college scholarship, but she's bitten by a dream of stardom, so she gives it all away. She moves to Hollywood, California, hoping to land a big role in an acting job in a movie. There's virtually no chance of her success. The girl's family mourns over her decision and pleads with her to appeal to reason. Do you find yourself in the same situation, having to explain to friends and family your decision to spend the summers in the mountains searching for gold and diamonds, and to tell them that that's reasonable? What is wrong with us? Are we just different? As I have listened to other Fenn treasure hunters contemplate this same dilemma, I considered that there may be a condition of the mind that could explain such behavior. One of the college programs I am currently in is the Liberty University Master's Degree in Human Services Counseling with a concentration in crisis counseling. I have also completed several doctorate-level classes in psychology. Here in the state of Texas, I have done the crisis intervention, crisis communications, crisis negotiations, and mental health training for police officers. And I did other counseling and psychology classes before that. I've studied these subjects for years. I'm familiar with the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, the DSM manual. It's the officially recognized list of mental health and psychological conditions. I figure I should be quite knowledgeable of this material. Besides, there's a condition for everything now. If someone doesn't like a particular politician, then the politician is called a narcissist. If I don't like a bureaucrat or a political leader, and I speak out against him, then I can be diagnosed with opposition defiance disorder. If someone has unnatural affections and gets himself into trouble, he can be given a diagnosis rather than a prison sentence. If you have a temper tantrum and you beat up someone, you may avoid jail time by requesting that you be diagnosed with either PTSD or a mood disorder. And for those of you who remember the 1959 movie, Anatomy of a Murder, if you kill someone, you can use the irresistible impulse defense to walk away scot-free. 10 years ago, the Tyler, Texas Police Department actually wrote a police report on me, diagnosing me as a mental subject for reporting a crime. They actually admitted in the report that it was because I had reported a felony. Today it is so easy to have a psychological disease. I mean, anybody can catch one. Could we Fenn treasure hunters actually have a disease? So I thought I might apply some of my understanding of psychology to the treasure hunting community and see if I could identify a match between psychology and our irrational behavior. So here's what I came up with. A psychosis is any wildly irrational behavior. It includes a variety of the reality disorders. If your thinking is detached from reality, then you have a psychosis. The most extreme cases of detachment from reality are considered psychotic. If you believe that aliens are speaking to you from your unplugged television set, or if you believe that your toaster oven is spying on you, or if you believe that you are Jesus, you probably have a severe case of psychosis. A less severe form of reality disorder, or possibly a symptom of it, is delusional thinking, or delusions of grandeur. Delusional people may or may not actually think that they are Jesus, but perhaps believe that they can become Jesus. Of course, your case may not be that extreme. There are cases of delusions of optimism, such as when you expect a promotion at your job, despite the fact that everyone there hates your guts. Delusion is like optimism on steroids. It is an optimistic outlook that is not rational or realistic. Your expectations are way too high, and you're wasting your time by psyching yourself up to believe that you can fulfill your delusional dreams. An individual with delusional disorder may actually believe that he will become the next president of the United States. She may sincerely believe that she will land a key role in the next blockbuster movie production. Or perhaps you and I may actually believe that we will be the ones to find a 12th century Romanesque bronze chest filled with gold and precious jewels high up in a mountain creek. There are common symptoms among people with reality disorders, in particular with delusional disorders. One common symptom is compulsivity and impulsivity, or separately, impulse control disorder. We cannot resist the urge to throw a bedroll in the back of the truck and go up into the mountains. Do you know that there are people who have made more than 100 trips to search for this blessed treasure chest? You know who you are. That is certainly impulsive or compulsive. Another common characteristic with delusional disorders is that the delusion preoccupies your life, your time, your money, and your energy. A delusional person sets everything else aside. The work doesn't get done, the bills won't be paid, and the lawn won't be mowed. And you really don't care. Do you find yourself sitting at your desk, unable to get your work done because you keep racking your brain trying to decipher where warm waters halt? Searching for Forrest Fenn's treasure takes up a great deal of time and money. The research in planning your next recon trip, and the time and money spent on the trip itself. How many restless hours have you spent in bed at night trying to work out the interminable solution for a home of brown? The delusional Fenn treasure hunter may acknowledge that he has lost his job and can no longer afford to feed his wife and 12 kids, but nonetheless, he leaves his family, remortgages the house, and leaves for the mountains in his pickup truck to look for a treasure chest. Another common characteristic among delusional people is avoidance. Avoidance of other people or Separately, it can be the avoidance personality disorder. Your friends and family think you've lost your mind, so you avoid them. You become a sort of recluse, withdrawing from social settings, spending more of your time looking for a canyon down. Your family is desperately trying to reach you to beg you to come back home, but you have left your texting machine behind. Just like a drunkard or a psychopath, a delusional Fenn treasure hunter is likely unable to recognize his own condition. You have become a fanatic, a Fenn addict. Your own friends think you are so crackpot crazy that you should no longer be allowed to reproduce. So, I have given you the benefit of my non-professional opinion. Are you willing to admit that you have a condition? Or do you insist on asserting that you are going to the mountains for the fresh air? Are you willing to admit that you need someone else to take over your financial affairs? Or will you keep believing the lie that you really can afford all of these trips to the mountains? Maybe the time has come to replace the Fenn-Baree with a new Treasure Hunters Anonymous club. There is strength in numbers, and I'm sure we can all work through this together. Otherwise, our families may have us all committed to a mental institution for our own good. As for me, if you want to cart me off in the padded wagon, you're going to have to find me first. You can look for my bedroll in the mountains, somewhere north of Santa Fe. Then you can figure out a way to get through my bear spray and my 44. Catch me if you can. Off to the mountains we go again, hurrah, hurrah. The first step on the road to recovery is admitting you have a problem. So join me on this journey by pressing the like, share, and subscribe buttons.